You're tuned in to Kiddy Pink Radio, where black media matters. Keep it locked.
Feel some type of way, and honestly, I don't give a fuck, because it needs to be said. If you gonna play stepmama right, okay? Nobody should know the difference from your child and your stepchild. I'ma say it again. Nobody should know the difference from your child and your stepchild. Okay? You shouldn't treat them any different. That be the problem. Y'all just be trying to play stepmama because y'all want to get back at the baby mama or whatever the case is. Bitch, go ahead and play stepmama. I'll tell you my kids' clothes size, shoe size, sock size, draw size, any size you want to know. I'm comfortable in my mommy position. That shit don't faze me. But if you gonna do it, please do it 100%. Okay? Doctor's appointments, pick up from school, pick up after school, football games. You know, my daughter got a heart problem, so take her to the heart doctor. You know, you gonna play stepmama. We gotta do it right, baby. We gotta do it right.
He might have been with a woman for 30 years who got a trash ass box.
What is trash box? I'm answer that. What is trash box?
A trash box could be a Lucy, you know, a Lucy Lou. You know, she ain't got no Cobra clutch grip to her shit. It could be that you know, I mean, some of y'all can fit bottles up in it. But you know, I mean, I don't trash box depends on the gentleman who is it.
She can fit a bottle in there, or do you think it may be you might be lacking? You may not have a big deal.
The stepdaddy role.
Please stop creating bonds with the children of that single mother. Nobody really speaks on this. And yes, stepdads do matter. But if you don't plan on being there for them and holding them kids down, whether or not you and the mom is into it, leave them damn kids alone. It's sad enough the biological father ain't around, so don't put them kids through that same rejection. Some of y'all just want to be around when you and the mom are doing good, and that's fake love. If you got love for the kids, let no one come in between that. Keep it solid or keep it moving.
Real nigga shit. Shout out to everybody that is joining us. If you don't mind, y'all, please share for us. Help us out. Get the word out. Boy, the Rose is on. It's noon o'clock.
My friends be like, how come you not famous yet? I be like, you didn't share my shit. How come you ain't shared it yet? That's what I don't understand. That's why I'm not famous.
4 or 5. What's going on with you, baby?
You know, same old shit.
Different toilet.
Different toilet, goddamn it. Hello, death worshippers.
Oh God, here you go.
It's a wonderful day in the motherfucking neighborhood. Y'all know what it is. Y'all gonna start seeing them clips, boy. Y'all gonna start seeing them, boy.
Today's topic is y'all read the caption. Y'all know what's up. We talking about, I keep seeing everybody talking about this stepdaddy season, this stepmama season. Let's get into talking about these steps in these seasons. Have you ever dated anybody with a child that was not yours? You became a part of the
raised a child that wasn't mine.
Okay.
Yeah, I was married. My ex-wife, my first child that I raised wasn't mine. All three of my kids.
Relationship with that child?
Not today. Okay. Not since divorce.
And
it is what it is.
You know,
but see, and they, we'll talk about it.
I've met a couple of my dad's, women, and the last wife, I met her as a grown child, and y'all already know, if y'all been watching, I don't particularly care for this bitch. But his ex-wife before her, I still call that woman mama. You know what I'm saying? She played a real major role as my daddy's wife. Like old girl was saying in the very beginning, you should nobody be able to tell the difference between your children and your stepchildren. All of them should be treated fairly. All of them should be treated the same. You should be playing the same role with your child. You know what I'm saying? As his child or her child. And even throughout my family, I have cousins who were not kin by blood. But when my uncle took on their mama, that was their son. I don't
Everybody
even
cousin.
right. We
Hmm.
don't even know nothing about step. Step is a foreign word to us. Like we cousins for real, and can't nobody convince us otherwise. And whenever you're dating somebody with children, it comes to a point to where you have to basically say, okay, do I want another child? Do I want to be responsible for another kid? You know what I'm saying? A lot of times men nor women be thinking about the children. They just be thinking about their lust and what they want. But when you're dating somebody with kids, regardless of whether you want that to be or not to be, sooner or later you gonna have to play the you know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to play that role
You're
sooner
gonna have to
or
play the
later.
parental role.
Sooner or later.
Hmm.
Um,
If you're not in it, let me say this: if you're not in it from the jump, then stay the fuck away from it. You know, you understand what I'm saying?
right.
I'm speaking from wholehearted experience. When I was in love, when I fell in love with my ex-wife, and I found out she had another baby. It's the whole story behind that. And if you knew that story, then you'd be like, oh, I understand why he has. You see what I'm saying? But uh, for me, like I explain to people all the time, it wasn't. You know how some dudes would say, "Oh, well, I had to accept her, then I accepted." No, for me, it was I love this woman, and this is her gift that she brought to the world, right? So I'm gonna love them.
And you
You
have to
understand
think
what I'm
like
saying?
that. You have to think
And
like
that,
that. If you're
yeah,
planning to stick around, you have to think like that.
yeah.
Um,
I
I'm
would say this too.
skipping
I was
through the
never
point.
called stepdad. I was never called stepdad
Right, right,
ever. That. But
right.
you gotta understand too. I literally was there from the time really before she was two on.
Hmm.
Now we're gonna get into this, Kitty, but we're gonna go. We're gonna still go down what you want to go down, but we do need to touch on this because that relationship can be severed by the significant other who that biological child belongs to.
Man, speak on it. Speak on it. It becomes a situation to where you and I've dealt with this in like just groups of people, no relationship or none of that shit, where people get mad at you. Now they want everybody that they're connected, that you're both connected to, be mad at you.
It's a team game now,
Exactly. Shout out to
right?
the Gifted Nation. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you share for me, Poppy. Um,
Oh, you on my team or you on their team, and
exactly.
yeah,
And
that's
and and
exactly what it was.
my thing with that is shit could get ugly than a motherfucker.
It does.
That's
It's,
I can't
it
even
doesn't.
clean
It's
up
not that
what I
it
was
can't.
right.
Yeah,
Shit could get ugly than a motherfucker. I know my daddy has never said I can't contact my stepmom. You know what I'm saying? Um, the stepdad that I'm really close to, that my mama took on, I don't talk to him as much, but he still gets as much as my love and all that stuff. And I don't even want to go there. That's too personal. I don't want to go that deep. But it can get ugly. That's all I'm gonna say. Shout out to you, Gifted. Um, how do you bounce back after a failed marriage or relationship? And it says here that results in co-parenting, but let's go. Let's make it real intricate. Let's say you have to co-parent for that child. Did y'all have to co-parent for the child that wasn't biologically yours afterwards? No, no. And see, even with y'all not having a relationship, and you know what? After I get off of here, I'm gonna call my stepdad because he said that it hurts his feelings that
Remember
I don't keep in contact.
exactly,
But
and it really does. But here's the thing: I know in my situation, I think you know what I'm saying. Every man's gonna raise their kids different. You know what I'm saying, and they when to divorce is involved and this significant other that's their baby and shit like that, there's a lot of shit that can be fed off into a person's head that they believe a lot of shit and despise everything else about you. That which is, you know, it's something that I shrug off today, but
at
believe me
first
when I
that shit hurt.
no, please get this clear, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. I don't, and you know, I shoot the shit a lot of times, but I'm being dead serious about this shit. I shrug it off today because that's all I can do. Don't you think for 1 second that that shit don't hurt every motherfucking day.
I can't imagine because and you know what, this and that's one reason why I dated one guy and he had this baby and I was just in love with this baby. This was before I was a mom, and I came around like soon as the baby was coming, you know, into the world. I got to see the baby born and all that, and the mama wanted the daddy back so bad that she tried to make it a situation where she felt like I had done something to her child. That's what I'm talking about. It can get real ugly. That step parenting, that shit can get ugly as fuck. I know a lot of people get mad when people say, "Oh, when they're putting off their list of requirements to date somebody, I don't want nobody with no kids." And oftentimes people with kids get mad, but bitch, I understand completely. You know what I'm saying? There are two men who they still check up on King. You know what I'm saying? There are two men that I've allowed to like be stepdaddy for King and stuff like that. They still check up on him. I ain't gonna say we can come pick him up and take him out and do all that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I love the fact that they, even though we're not together, even though some of the terms we left off was bad, all that, they're gonna check on King. I'm gonna, within 2.5 more months, I'm gonna be getting text messages. Do you need help with school shopping? No lies. No bullshit. That's stepdaddy to me. That's stepdaddy. That's big stepdaddy energy to me. And that and the reason I brought that up is y'all have to think beforehand, even going into this with somebody with kids. What if we break up? Am I still going to be there for this child? Like the homeboy was saying a while ago, if you don't plan on sticking around, leave them kids the fuck alone. If you just around because you and the mom good or you and the dad good, but when it get bad, you finna move the fuck around. Leave them kids alone.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer in that, but once you are involved in it, I believe this as well. You know, because I raised one, no support from the biological daddy whatsoever. And if that bitch ever get to talk about my ass, you better tell the fucking truth, because I got documentation, baby. But anyway, uh, uh, it's a very, very difficult situation. I'll say that it's a very difficult situation once you have invested that much time
You feel some
and
type of
effort
way.
into something, and then you got to understand the situations and everything that went on as well. You know, and again, you know, I told you on the last episode, you know, I take a lot of responsibility for my divorce. You understand what I'm saying? I take a lot of, I probably take a lot more than I should. You know what I mean? But I think that just comes with the territory, and I'm not trying to be, you know, I'm not trying to do all the gender things, but I do think it's that just comes with the territory of being a man. Um,
How many stepdaddies should your children? How many step parents? Now let me weigh back. Let me weigh back. How long should it take before you introduce your children to somebody that you're seeing? And I'm saying this as okay, we've established that we're going to be in a committed situation. We've already established that we're not just dating. You know what I'm saying? We've
And I've
decided,
established that this person is, or could be, or has the potential of being good for my
right,
children.
right.
I think once you have established that in your mind, that hey, this person, I see how they are with their kids, or I see how they are around other kids, or whatever. Or if you've established it in your mind, you feel like this person would be okay around my kids. I really believe that's up to you. Well, no, I can't say I can't believe it's up to you, because some of you crazy motherfuckers out there will just bring a nigga in the house. And when I say nigga, I ain't just talking about men or women. Y'all just bring them in the house, and these kids just got through seeing Uncle Thomas or Auntie Jane. You understand what I'm saying? And they don't understand why Uncle Thomas and Auntie Jane ain't coming around no more. Now they got a new uncle or auntie. You
Some of
know,
y'all move. What he's trying to say, some of y'all move along too quick, and some of y'all are making your children too accessible. I'm gonna be real with you.
that's say
When
that again.
somebody takes interest in King, I'm very standoffish, and it doesn't mean that they're a pedophile or pervert. It doesn't necessarily mean, you know what I'm saying, any of that other stuff. I'm standoffish because, bitch, why you so interested in my child? You know what I'm saying? Some people come in like that. Let me get to some of these comments. Gifted said, yeah, it was hard to walk away from my ex because of her daughter. I love that little girl, but I had to and that's why it should take, shout out Drinker to boss. Y'all make sure y'all go and follow Sunday Live Check-In. Drinker, if I said it wrong, throw it in the comments, baby. But that's why you shouldn't just be hopping in and out, in and out. Your child see this man, see that man, da 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 da. It should never be like that. That's where a lot of women go wrong. You know what? When it comes to my biological mama, I've only had 2 stepdads that I've had to, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to my mama. There's only been 2 men in my life, you know what I'm saying, with that stepdaddy role.
You
I
know
think,
why I think,
let me read this and then go. He
yeah,
said, I think about her all the time, though. Hopefully she's doing well, growing up to be a respectable young lady. That's what's so gifted, for real.
yeah,
What you was finna say?
I'm with him. I'm with him on that. I believe me
Yeah,
when I tell you, ooh, this one's a tough one. But
right.
yeah, believe me when I tell you, I
My
seen.
feelings was hurt, babe. I love that little baby so bad. I had got so attached to it. So I'm relating with his energy. I was not a mom at that time, but it hurt my feelings so bad. You know what I'm saying? That I couldn't be a part of that little baby's life again. Like that shit to my core. That's honestly, if you ain't never experienced it, it's a pain. It's a pain. It's hard to even explain to somebody who hasn't experienced it, because motherfuckers probably
You
like,
know
bitch,
why?
it wasn't your child. But
You know
no.
why? You know why people don't give a fuck about that shit?
Why?
You know why? Especially because I think, and um, I'm going to say this. I think it's difficult for a woman to be a stepmother because it's inherently she's a nurturer,
Nurturer. Yep.
right? But it's easier for her to be a stepmother because she's a nurturer,
You know,
right?
I've left niggas alone because they've introduced me to their child, and I felt myself falling in love with their child. I've left niggas
See,
alone because of that. Straight up.
and
What's up, drinking
women,
about? Let's get
it's
up into
not a
some of these comments, because we got some
okay.
stories down here in these comments. Drinker the boss said, the mama you realize y'all ain't just dating, you should let them meet your kids. Okay. Go ahead.
I, mm, I agree with that to an extent. I think more so for women, women have to look out for sure who they bring in around their kids.
Right. Whether it's a girl
I'm
or a boy. I know a lot of people be like, especially if it's a girl. No, whether it's a girl or a boy.
girl or a boy. Women
Yeah.
have to be they have to be very, very vigilant. They have to have their mind open and everything. So when we talking about this, I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, but this is not a gender. I don't believe in doing the whole gender back and forth thing, even though we do this shit.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to women, I think women, if you're gonna put a time frame on it, it should be a lengthy time frame before
Right.
you because women have this innate thing about them where when they care about you, they just care about you. When they love you, right?
Right.
And so your love for me as your man can, it's just being real. A woman who is really in love puts on blinders over a lot of shit. And it's true.
Yeah.
So if her love for me makes her put on those blinders, it'll make her skip over what would have been a flag or something to say, wait, I don't really want this around my kids, or whatever the case may be. We've seen that often. We've seen that often. How many times have you had we get stories like this on the morning show and shit where the woman really thought she had a dude that was decent and then he ends up being a chomo, right? Or an SA or some shit like that, right? And I just think that women have to have. It's not something that I think that you need to grab onto right now. I just think that like inside it needs to. There should be like some type. You got to have a serious amount of discernment for that shit when it comes
Right.
from women.
Right.
Okay, as
These
men, we don't.
Go
Mhm.
ahead. I don't want the comments to get ahead of me because it'd be hell trying to
No,
keep
no,
up
no.
with
Go
them.
ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Reginald Carter, he got a story, y'all. He said, my daughter's mother went immediately into another relationship. She had 2 kids by a man that put his hands on hers. That nigga never put his hands on my daughter. I was pissed when she came to pick my daughter up and that nigga was in the car. I told her he better not touch her. See, and see, this is another thing. Like, when you have a parent that is co-parenting, the biological co-parent, y'all co-parenting together, y'all have to even come to some type of compromise when it comes to, the whole I'm dating somebody new and stuff like that. My baby daddy lacks for some odd reason. I guess he feel like I'm not gonna find nobody else or nothing like that. But I can honestly tell he feels some type of way if I do mention, oh, I'm dating somebody else or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's something that y'all have to come to an agreement. Hey, how long you been dating? Introduce me to her first. First of all, I'm that type of mama. Let me meet her first. Because I promise you, I don't want my baby daddy baby girl. You can have him. We ain't got no issues, no problems there. But I want to see what type of person you are. I want to feel your energy, your vibration, and see if it's okay for me to let my baby be around you.
And that also has to do with the age of the child, I believe, too.
That too. That too. I'm not gonna bring no new man around. Well, I mean, it depends. It depends. Cause the one that plays stepdad, one of the ones that played stepdaddy, he was around King when King was a baby. So he's seen King grow up. So I'm not gonna contradict myself there. Gifted
Uh,
said there's no
yeah,
specific timeline, but you should definitely wait till the time feels right. And if you can trust them,
I
absolutely.
think. Hold on. I want to address that one. I think that works for us as men.
Right.
I think what he's saying is valid for both of us, men and women. But I think it works more for us as men. Women, I'm sorry, y'all got a lot more. You have to pay attention a lot more
Have to.
because
You cannot be for days by love. Because I believe that's what happened to the young lady in Houston. The boy killed the baby and brought her way here to Hope, Arkansas, and dropped her off on our highway. Like, when do you get comfortable enough to leave a nigga with your baby by themselves? That's my thing. Or a woman. When do you get that comfortable?
yeah.
I've left King with Max. And that man, he hit me up and he was just like, I really appreciate that. That means you really trust me. Because he know how I am about King. I don't play. Y'all know me.
Yeah,
Y'all know I goes off the Ricker fucking
yeah.
around with King. He
Hmm.
said, you also should never let your children see a man putting his hands on you. Absolutely never. A woman either. The
A
children
woman
shouldn't
either.
be around any of that toxic fucking energy.
Yeah, no, none of that.
None
None of that.
whatsoever. If you got a problem, y'all handle that shit in private. No, the kids not supposed to be seeing all that shit. Gifted says sometimes people use the kids to play on others' heart. My ex knew I loved that girl. Period, point blank.
Man, I'd like Gifted. I bet you we could have a very, very serious, powerful conversation,
Mm.
and it'd be a lot of. I think. Hey, let me
Gifted
get
has
back.
been on here. Gifted has been on here a time or two. We bringing him
Yeah, I
back.
know. I've seen Gifted's comments several times, but
Okay.
let me say this real quick before we go forward. I think there's a bad stigma on stepfathers, and this should come all the way from the goddamn Bible. You say what you want, but old Joe didn't have shit to do with Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna wait, and nobody. Joe is not saint. He's no saint. They don't do shit. Joe is just there. I'm gonna take your mama over to Nazareth on this donkey real quick. And you know what? Nobody ever asked. Damn, I wonder how much that little nigga ate off of Joe's plate.
You know what? Nobody ever thinks about that either.
No, you
No,
don't think about
we don't talk about Joseph. We
they
don't
don't
talk
talk
about
about the sacrifice of
that man
him.
made
They
a
don't talk about that.
child that supposedly got here because his wife was blessed by God. Anyway, that's another whole nother topic for a
Whole
whole
nother
nother
thing.
day.
But I'm
I
just
want to
saying that
get off into this comment for real, because we was about to go there. Reginald Carter said, I made it hard for any man to get close to my mama until she actually got married. That's another thing. If your kids are having a hard time with your significant other, how do you handle that?
that's your significant other. See, that's the relationship that they gotta build. You understand what I'm saying? You should govern it because you are biologically that child's parent. You should govern it and be there every step of the way in the governing of it, right? But to build a proper relationship with a child that's not yours, and you know you're dealing with, look, you're because I can only come at it from a man's standpoint. I don't know how. Oh,
I want to get off into that because it's like sometimes the kids, for example, my baby he just used to it being me and him. Another man come in here trying to put his feet down. It might be a little push back. You know what I'm saying? So, like, how do you determine? Because sometimes kids just acting up because they don't want you to be with nobody else.
that's
He just
true.
said it. I made it hard for any man to get close to my mama. Any man.
But listen to what he said.
Until she
Until
actually
she
got
got
married. Most
married,
definitely, I don't want to leave that out too, but I wanted to attack that first part though,
right?
because sometimes it's been shit. As a grown ass woman, there's been people my mama done brung around, and I'm just like,
Well, here's the thing when I say this about kids, right? Like, especially under a certain age, their receptors are on. Like, their receptors are on. They can feel if there's tension between people. They can feel a lot of shit.
right.
And I agree. Sometimes they do take it. Kids can take it a little overboard. Dude might not have ever done nothing, meant no harm to him or nothing. They just can't stand the fact that this one ain't my daddy.
Right.
You see what I'm
So
saying?
how do you even? Because I feel like this: if my baby don't like you, you may have to go. And I know in some cases that could be wrong because it could be a good dude. But like, how do you? Like how? How does that work out? Let's get off into these comments. I'm finna get everybody commenting, and then we're gonna come back to that. Stay right there. Drika said, facts. I have boys, but my boys have told me up front, like, Mom, he's cool, but not for you. Because he might play too much and not be serious. My boys have helped me sometime because they were right. Gifted said, oh, hell nah, I shouldn't be around that man. Can a stepdad be a godfather after you break up? I like I
Uh,
said, I still have
yeah.
boyfriends that I still have 2 boyfriends that will go to war behind King. I do. And I mean,
I'll say this. I think whatever the bio parent allows, and it's in good, it's in good spirits and everything, then yeah, they should be able to be involved,
Mm,
but sometimes it just doesn't work out like that, ladies and gentlemen. It just don't.
right.
It just don't. You can love, believe me, I'm telling you, this shit is hitting home hard than a motherfucker, man. And you can love this, you can love him, man, all you want.
Mhm.
That don't mean shit. That don't mean shit.
I'm gonna call my stepdaddy today because, like, I'm not in a particular situation where what I'm saying, I can't talk to him because of my mama or no shit like that. It's just when him and my mama kind of broke up. You know what I'm saying? It was just he ain't around no more. But I do have his. I'm gonna call my stepdaddy today. This show is touching. This show is hitting apart. Reginald's still talking about the situation with his daughter. It's the Joe impersonation for me. His wife was cheating. Drinker the Boss said, I had a stepdad and stepmom. Both was good to us. My mom and dad co-parent, so different than the majority that people thought it was weird. And that's another thing. Like, y'all stop letting your friends and other people fuck up. You know what I'm saying? The whole thing. Like a lot of bitches be on some old. She can't be my baby, girl. You want him? What time? What time y'all picking him up? King, you're going with your stepmom and your dad. Like, I don't have an issue with that. Like I said, I just feel like I should have an opportunity to meet her first before he introduces him. You know what I'm saying, to another woman that I don't know. Don't take my baby over there and she ain't been in my face first. That's my attitude. Um, Draco said, thanks to my parents for not letting their feelings get in the way of making it better for their kids. Right. Most definitely. He said, I'm sure it's hard for stepmom and stepdads. Most definitely, because it's like you're always walking on eggshells, especially if that child has a parent that's involved. You're always walking on eggshells. That's gonna bring us down to this. Do you feel like your significant other should be able to discipline your kids?
Yes. But the problem, but I'm gonna say, I say yes, but I also feel like a lot of times, but see, women and men discipline different, and this is why I say that women discipline their children off of, you don't need to do this, you don't need to do that, this, that, or the other. Men discipline their children off of what they seen that they don't want to keep going in their bloodline.
Right.
This is why you need a man around your child, because they don't. Men discipline off of, I don't want to see this going on in my bloodline. My shit was my only rule. Every one of my kids, even my step, she's still my daughter as far as I'm concerned. But
And I feel like if I've invested in you, you mine.
oh yeah, nigga, I put in God damn it, I put in a good 11 years, motherfucker.
Yeah, you
Okay,
still my baby.
so yeah, but I think that shit, kid. Um,
Well, we said it was gonna be some deep shit anyway, so yeah.
yeah,
You need a minute.
yeah.
Okay.
Just give me a second.
Okay. Reggie, let's go back. Y'all give for five a few minutes. Reginald said, I love my stepdad. Never looked at him as my dad because I know my dad. My stepfather made my mom happy and earned my respect. And you know what? That's a good way to earn the kids' respect. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't just be an announcement that I'm gonna be a new boyfriend. You know what I'm saying? We got you. This is your new stepdaddy. Da, 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 da. It shouldn't be no situation like that. Nah. He said, kids are slick. Your child can run you, but not my house. Real talk. Cause I used to do little. I've been, and I'm saying this as a grown ass woman. I wasn't even a child. You know what I'm saying? My mama bring around a new nigga. I'm looking at you with all type of, who the fuck is this? You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna find reasons not to like your ass. Reggie said, I ran off one nigga that I didn't like his energy. I didn't want him near my mama because I felt him using my mom's grief as a weakness from my sister's dad's death. Most definitely. And and sometimes kids can really, 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 you know what I'm saying? I pay attention. I have to pay close attention because my child is on paper nonverbal. He can talk, but you know, he may have a hard time trying to express himself to me. So I pay attention to his body language, how he act, all type of stuff. But I also know my child well enough to know that my child could be just bullshit. You know what I'm saying? He could be playing with me. He said, bottom line, Reggie ain't having no more kids unless I'm married. No more co-parenting for me. What you was finna say about
Hey, I agree with that statement, Mr. Carter. That's why I believe all men, well, any one of y'all that make that decision, come on and join me over here on Team Cutballs.
We are pushing that issue.
Because Team Cutballs is real, fellas. It's real. And you should consider. Right. It's a wonderful world. It's a wonderful world. All you got to do is go get checked 2 more times after the operation. And it's okay. It's an okay check, too. It's an okay check.
This nigga here. When I asked the question, should step parents be able to discipline, Reggie's answer was absolutely, they should be able to, but another man was never going to discipline my daughter. I never had to hit my daughter, didn't want her to think it's okay for a man to put his hands on her. And I get that. I totally get that. Drinking the Boss said yes, but it should be talked about with the other parent if they active. My kids' dad don't put his hands on them, so no guy that I choose can do that. My kid's dad and me talked about it. Gifted says, I know his pain. Yeah.
It's if, let me explain this right here. And I'm gonna tell all y'all out there who are steps or considering it or whatever. I'm gonna be real with you. If that other bio ain't involved whatsoever, and they ain't put no time, no effort, no money, no nothing in your house to raise the kid, then everything that I put in this kid, including the discipline, comes along with the territory, and you can't say shit to me about it.
You see,
you can't say shit to me about it.
If I feed them, I can beat them.
That's real shit. That is real shit. That's how I felt from the goddamn jump.
You, clothing you.
Let me tell you something.
My energy, my motherfucker. If I'm going to recitals, if I'm going to baseball games, if I'm picking you up from school, taking you to you goddamn right, I'm finna skin your motherfucking ass.
Especially if they done came down here with a trunk full of fucking barrettes. No clothes, no money, no food. I'm telling you, I could talk about it. I ain't gonna get mad. God, I'm not gonna get mad. I just took me a very deep breath and I'm back at it, but I'm not gonna get mad about it. Because I let that shit hurt me. And I'm telling all you fellas out there that's listening, if you can hear my voice right now, if you play this shit 100 years from now, don't you dare let it break you. And this is coming from somebody who was broken.
You know what's crazy? I just had to get to a place because, like I said, I don't play stepmama, and it was earlier on before I was even a mama. I had to get to a place to where I completely forgot about that little boy. I had to forget how he smelled. I had to forget how cute he was when the little bubbles on the side of his mouth popped. I had to give up the fact that this baby clinged to me like he knew. You know what I'm saying? Somebody loved him. Wasn't nobody using. Like, I had to completely forget about that baby. And as sad as it is, it's affecting me now. I really don't like dating niggas with kids.
You didn't never forget about that baby. You didn't never forget about that baby.
Because there's a part of me right now that hurts. Hell, y'all heard my voice crack a little bit.
Because you gave a part of that to that baby. That's when people out there swear. That's where a lot of people who are on the outside. Right. A lot of people who are on the outside of that situation and you think you know and it's gonna work this way and it's gonna do this and you don't know. You have no fucking idea unless you've been through it. You have
So,
no idea.
would you recommend, and we're talking about the opposite side, we're not talking about the single parent, would you recommend that a single man or woman get involved with somebody that has a child? And I mean, is that something you recommend, or would you say run from that? Because there are a lot of people who, because of what we're talking about, they choose not to date people with kids. But I'm here to say single parents need love too, y'all. I don't feel like we should just be condemned and thrown to the side because, you know what I'm saying, we got a little extra baggage.
I'm gonna say this. To each their own, but if you are going to get involved in something like that, please take a little bit extra time out to examine the situation that you are going to put yourself in. Please take the time out and talk to the people, or talk to your mama or your daddy or your aunties and uncles and ask them how they think you would fare and things like that. Because other people's opinions of you, it do matter,
Right.
especially when it comes to raising kids. And now it's a lot of shit it don't matter, but when it comes to that shit, it do. Like you have to be in a frame of mind. And I'm not saying that motherfucker's better than the other person or whatever the case may be. I don't care what it is. Your mind has to be so strong in it that you say, I'm dealing with whatever is going to come with this territory. You
I,
understand what I'm saying? And it has to be, huh? Go ahead.
I need Jesus himself to come down and tell me, yeah, this is him. I really do. I'm well, you know, when I say Jesus, what I'm trying to say. But I'm gonna need some type of reassurance because I don't ever want to get myself involved in a situation where I fall in love with somebody's child or somebody fall in love with my child. Cause some niggas also will use that to try to spin the block again. They'll try to use the love, that the relationship and bond that you and that them and your child have, just so they can spin the block again.
Well,
The shit,
unfortunately,
the shit is crazy. Y'all
hey, look,
stop fucking and having kids, and until you married, until you show about some damn body. It's a little bit.
look,
It's over for
you
the
can't
ones
tell
that
people to
want
do that. Chochai is good. Shit. But yeah, no, what you saying? I mean, because I think in this topic right here, we're gonna always come back to this. Is like, the react on what you can do and what you can't do, or you know what I'm saying. But
right.
it's a very, it's not touchy and it's not a sensitive situation or anything. I just think that like this is something that needs to be seriously discussed and talked about between the two parent or
And if you don't think
uh
if you're not thinking about the long haul when it comes to dating somebody with kids, leave them alone. If you're not
that's
if you're not thinking about the long haul, go ahead, leave that girl alone, leave that boy alone. Because there are single fathers out here. I've dated a couple of them. Um, if you don't feel like you're gonna be in for the long haul from the jump, move the fuck around. Like homeboy
and it
said, leave the motherfucking kids alone.
but ain't nothing wrong if you felt like you was gonna be in it for a long haul because that goddamn ass was goddamn great.
And see,
And
that's where we come into a disagreement. And man, stop thinking about the sex and shit. Think about the kids. I don't.
no, wait a second. Now we talking about relationships, okay? And now if you gonna try to tell me that somehow I'm not gonna be thinking about giving her the good Woody, then you out your mind, okay? Because that's gonna happen. I'm a man, and do you know how often we think about giving the good Woody? Now you're not gonna sit up there and tell me not to even think about that. Now,
I'm not
now her
saying don't think about that, but what I'm saying is a woman with a child, unless she tell you straight up, look, nigga, I just need some dick. You gonna come over here at midnight after my kids in bed. We gonna do the hoochie wally wally oochie bang bang, and you gonna be out the door before they even wake up. You can't even wash your dick in my sink.
But what's whoa, washing the dick, your sink gonna my dick.
You
I'm gonna
not
wash my
washing.
dick in
You
your
you
sink.
can't even wash your dick in my sink. You got to go.
Oh no, nigga. Uh-uh.
Because if you wash your dick in the sink, you gonna think you gonna be comfortable. Washing the dick in the sink is comfort. The little hoe bath after y'all get through fucking, you too comfortable.
Well, then you go get the warm towel for
I'm
me.
not giving you nothing, nigga. Go to your house and wash your balls.
No, I'm
If we
washing them
just
off of you.
fucking, you can't wash your dick in my sink. If we just fucking, you cannot wash your dick in my sink after we get through. Take your ass home. Don't
So
wash
if
your dick. Don't lay beside me and caress me. Don't we not finna do no pillow talking. It's just get the fuck out. Yeah.
no, that's not what.
Uh-huh.
That's not what's happening. I'm
Uh-huh.
gonna put you to sleep.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna do my damn due diligence. I'm gonna put you to sleep, and I'm
No.
doing this on. No, you listen to me because I'm doing it
You
on
can't
purpose.
wash your dirty dick in my sink. Take your ass
Yeah, you either let me wash my dick in your sink, or you gonna have to take it because I'm coming in there like King Kong, and I'm gonna put your ass to sleep so we can both go to sleep and be woke up by them goddamn kids in the morning. That's what's gonna happen.
bro.
You better make it up in your mind. You gonna let me wash my dick in this sink
Anyway,
before I leave up
we
out of here.
taking it too far. But what I'm
Uh,
saying is if we have that agreement that all we're doing is messing around, you know what I'm saying? You come
you
over here,
shouldn't have the kids involved.
the kids ain't got to know who you fuck you is. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to you want to take me out on dates, you want to be there, you know what I'm saying? Consistency. There's some consistency going
Yeah.
on. Then we have to have that conversation. Do you think I should have to ask you, you know what I'm saying? Like, because I'm going to be real with you. I've asked niggas, like, so how do you feel about me being a single mom? Do you think that's something that should be discussed in the beginning?
Wait, he should probably already know.
What I'm saying is I need to know pretty much what we're saying right now. If you ain't here for the long haul, then move the fuck around because I have a baby. And a majority of the time,
That's a
I'm a
good.
special needs mom. This is the kicker because we haven't covered this. I'm a special needs mom. On top of that, can you handle that?
Well, in that case, then that's your responsibility to tell me that this is just going. We're gonna have us a good time, but you can't be around my kids. Okay, so what does this good time consist of? That's your responsibility right there. You can't be mad at a brother who you can't be mad at no dude who's wanting to spend a little time. He's spending a little change on you. You gone out on a couple of dates and he want to get some of that snatchy. You can't get mad about that. You done shown up with your titties perky, ass up. You in them goddamn them high heels. Yeah, you doing that little switch walk when we walking around, and I can't do shit about it. I can't do nothing about it. And then you gonna tell me you can't unless you talking about getting with my kid. No. You can't do me like that, kitty. You have to well, if we gonna put this on special, all special, I'm fucking around with special needs women from here on out. Because y'all gonna have to tell the truth up front. This is what it's gonna be. You have to tell your partner this. I don't see you being a good parent for King. So that door is closed. But what door is open is 24/7 chocha. Now, you gonna have to give that out. You have to give that out. You can't get mad at somebody who's not understanding that whole process.
Well,
Some people don't even know what it's like to even be or have to
but that's what
deal.
I'm saying. Like, you should ask questions then. Because a majority of my time is consumed with my child. Because not only am I a mother, I'm playing a caretaker too.
Right.
So what I'm saying is a man has to be like, you got to understand the entirety of the situation. You can't just get, oh my gosh, she's so fine. Oh, I want to bend her over. You can't get distracted with all of that. Like, At some point, it got to come into your mind that damn, she's a special needs mom. That's a lot.
It is a lot. It is a lot. But you
And
know what it's
you have
starting to
to
make it sound
decide
like to me?
yourself. But what I'm saying is, you have to make a decision yourself. Do I want to be a part of that? Do I want to participate in that? Those are questions that you need to ask yourself. Special needs or not.
I'm starting to think that all special needs mama must have a magic cho-cha.
This motherfucker here. How do we get so far in the trenches fucking with you?
Because it would only because you are saying that I need to be thinking about.
Make it make
I
sense.
guess so.
Because this
I'm
nigga
trying
getting
to
lost.
process it. You know what I'm
This
saying?
nigga just
I'm
get
trying to
lost in the
process
sauce.
it because I get it. You saying coming from a special needs house, right? And you like, look, my responsibilities are different. My whole thing is different. So if you fucking with me, you gonna have to fuck with me strong.
Real strong.
Right.
And I mean,
Right?
honestly, that may be the reason that I'm kind of single, but I'm not single. I'm single, but I got somebody that might knock my head in between the washer and the dryer for thinking and living like that. But yeah, I'm single because of that. Because I just feel like it's a lot for me. Why wouldn't it be a lot for another nigga? You know what I'm saying? That isn't tied to my situation. That doesn't
Have
have to
you
be here.
let me ask you this, because I know they got groups for that shit, right? Don't they got groups for parents, special needs parents
I mean, I'm sure
who
they do. I'm a part of several support groups, but I've never like joined one of the dating groups because I just feel like dating sites and shit, they full of shit anyway. Yeah, I
yeah,
just
we've
it's
agreed
more
on that.
so, yeah, it's a recycle bin, honestly.
A
But
meat market, a
that's it.
recycled meat market, nasty. Like a
25% off clearance, 50% clearance. That's what the fuck it is. But
99.
like, yeah,
Yeah.
but with me, I really, really have to. That's why a lot of dudes y'all end up just being my knockoff, my boom boom bang, and I'm back at the house because I don't feel like anybody that I've dated so far has the capacity to be a good stepdad to King. I'm gonna be real about it.
Here's a question. Do you think? Because see, I feel like that would be hard for any guy or woman who has never dealt with special needs or anything like that. And I
And by
understand
the
that.
grace of God, I met a lot of dudes who've had experience. They got a little baby cousin, or you know what I'm saying, a great niece, or something like that, to where they've been around it because it's King has freaked some dudes off, and I feel like you know what I'm saying. Okay, they cut off. He didn't call me back. You know, I'm not even gonna entertain that because he can't handle it. If you've
Right.
never been around a nonverbal autistic child, some of their actions probably would freak you out. You know what I'm saying? You probably would think, damn, that's weird. You know, so like I feel like if you can't handle it, that capacity, you know, of him stemming, because it don't even be nothing wrong with him. He just be stemming whenever you get the loud
Mhm.
something like he's stemming. But if you can't even handle my baby stemming, you're not gonna be able to handle him when he is on one. You know what I'm saying? When he goes into a violent tantrum, you ain't gonna be able to handle that. If you can't handle the screaming, you damn sure can't handle the hands. And he's a strong little boy. And I just don't never want to put my baby in a situation where he feel like, yo, I'm finna have to fight this nigga. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to put my baby in no situation like that. So like when it comes to
So,
being a
mm,
special needs parent,
mhm.
we really, really have to sit back and vet niggas and shit like that.
So the heightened sense that I'm saying that all women should have. That's why it didn't. For you, it was like I think that because you already have to have that.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. It makes sense. See,
And it
I
makes
think,
dating hard. I'm not sitting here acting like, oh, it's so easy, you guys, and like this ain't no motherfucking need commercial for after your period type of situation. Like it's
yeah, no,
really
no, no.
frustrating.
It's
It
really
is.
frustrating.
Some of the dates they gonna have to be held here at the house. You know what I'm saying? Once he sleep, because I can't. You know what I'm saying? I don't have too many people that can babysit him. So you know what I'm saying? What is you looking at me like that for?
Because I am fucking for it now. I can just come to your house.
Nah,
Not you, Kitty.
not
You
what
my
I'm saying.
sister.
No, what I'm saying, the majority of the time, if a special needs mother or father cannot get a sitter, date night may have to be at the house. And honestly, that's why, like, when I'm betting, I'm looking deep into this nigga. Like, can he handle what's going on with me? I
Plus, you
have to
got
look at
because you got to worry about accepting the motherfucker through your front door.
that part. That
Right.
part.
Understood on that. Understood. I got.
And I wanted to stop right here because a lot of special needs moms and fathers are part of our audience because
Right.
of who I am in the
Mhm.
special needs community. So I want to bring this up because it's just like, dude, are we allowed to have a love life? You know what I'm saying? What
Yeah, of course,
how
of
do
course.
how do we maintain a love life? Well, I'm just putting these out there because these are general questions that some parents have. There are some special needs parents that have not had a date since they had their child.
Because they don't have right. Because they don't have any. Because but whoa. Hang on. Let's rewind. All women need to talk to special needs mothers.
You think so?
Why? But here's why. This is my thought process. If all women examined their potential significant other like you have to, Kitty, because you have to examine and figure out, hey, is this motherfucker okay to just come through my front door? Because the possibility of that happening is great. What I'm saying is all women
Mm-hmm.
should be coming from that standpoint.
Real talk.
Is this fuck the oh, he's cute, we fuck good, he makes money, we work good. Can this motherfucker come through your front door and you still be okay with it?
Right.
That's that's the only thing I'm trying to get at. I like that you have to think of, not that I like that you have, because I know that's
No.
hmm?
I wanna have a fucking hot girl
Right.
summer.
You want to have, yeah, you want to, no, you don't want to have no hot girl
Yes,
summer.
I do. But I
See,
can't.
and
That's
see,
over for me.
and that further substantiates what I've been saying since you said what you said. This
What?
further substantiates it. Men don't mean no harm, and I am not trying to offend any communities out there, but single men, we have got to find the women of special needs
Not.
children.
Don't come for us if you're not trying to. Don't do that. No,
No,
we're
I'm
not
just
gonna put
talking.
us
I
on the
said men.
market.
I
Okay.
said men. I
Good.
said men. I don't put every man in that. I don't put every uh, grown child into that category. I said men. And the only reason why is because we don't have to spend no money on no dates. All we gotta do is go to the grocery store and come in and cook a
You're
little
still
bit,
gonna spend some money.
huh?
You still gonna spend some money.
Well, that's with Kitty. And then y'all mark Kitty off the list.
No, it ain't just with me. You're still gonna spend some money. What the fuck you mean? If we're having date night here at the house, you still gonna spend some money.
What, I'm gonna get some snuggle bags?
I mean, shit, we could get DoorDash or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I could even cook something. You gonna go to the grocery store and get the groceries and
I
shit.
said we can go to the grocery store. That's what I said.
Yeah, but
And
you making it seem like we just if you don't want to be bothered with the other bitches, fellas, get you a special needs woman.
no, that's not what I
Special
said.
needs
That's
mama.
not what I said. That's not what I
That's
said.
what it
I'm
sounds like.
No, I'm coming at it from a standpoint of a single man who don't want to be taking your ass out on a $300 date. I can be at your house and go to this goddamn grocery store real quick and go get a couple, couple hamburgers, steaks, or
that's
whatever.
a
Have you cook them
pro,
up?
and that's a pro from dating a woman with special needs
Fuck,
kids.
hell yeah. That means I only got to take her out once every 3 months.
No.
Yeah, because most of the time we got to be at your house, and through our tradition,
There are activities to do with the child.
it agreed, and we can do the jungle gym activities whenever you ready, and we can go to McDonald's on those days.
Oh my
But
God.
what's when I got to take you out on a serious date, it works out in your favor, Kitty. How does it not? If I got to take you out on a serious date, I don't have to worry about it because I can always save up for it. We only doing it once every 3 or 4 months because we got to be at your house.
I can see where you coming from, nigga. But
And then another thing that ain't right, I ain't bringing no goddamn groceries.
why not?
I ain't bringing no groceries. I'll do a DoorDash maybe, but I ain't bringing no goddamn groceries because you get groceries cheaper than I do.
Uh,
How is my groceries better than your groceries?
uh,
Yeah, my groceries can't.
because if there's a particular, like, it's just about the details. You doing too much. It's just about the details of the date. You know what I'm saying? Compromising.
Yes,
That's the only point that I was trying to make. Compromising. I
I
understand.
agree.
There have been a lot of guys that I have dated. They like to do spontaneous things, but I can't because I can't just spare
You
the
can't.
moment, find a babysitter for King or something like that. And
Right,
it is what it is. I think when it comes to dating with children, you kind of just have to structure the whole thing, and you kind of have to know where you're at mentally and acknowledge
right.
that.
That's with children, period. Right,
Yeah, and
and
acknowledge
then
that so that it's not hard or you're not ashamed of telling someone who's particularly interested in you, hey, this is how things have to go.
right, right.
This has been a dope conversation. Thank you all so much for
Yeah, this one hit home a little hard. Made
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah,
Single parenting, being a single parent doesn't mean that you have to stop dating. It doesn't mean that your life is over. You know what I'm saying? Just try to find a way. For example, I've had to find a way to do, do things. If it's somebody that's how we ended up on that topic. If it's somebody that I'm really, really interested in, sometimes my house has to be, as a special needs parent, sometimes my home is where we have the first date. You know what I'm saying? Or, well, I ain't gonna say the first date, no, because the first date you're gonna take me somewhere. But the second and third date may
nigga,
have to be at my house. So,
this nigga in Papados. God damn.
shut up. Y'all act like Papa Do's is so fucking expensive. And it's not.
It is.
Yeah, I
It
feel
is.
you on that.
Hell yeah, gifted. Hell yeah, gifted. Fuck them kids.
Well, if it's fuck them kids 9 times out of 10, you ain't gonna be able to fuck the mama. So it can't be fuck them kids. A good mama anyway.
Man, speaking of that, we ain't got much time, but I went to Walmart
We ain't got no
about
time
two
at all.
days ago,
Come on.
and women, stop going to goddamn Walmart with your fucking kids if you don't want nobody to holler at you and you ain't got no rings on your fingers. God damn it. Stop going to Walmart with your kids.
Why we gotta stop with
Hmm?
who the fuck gonna keep? We don't have money to give to the daycare to keep them for a trip to the goddamn store, sir. Sorry, they got to come
Well,
with us.
well,
My baby be
well,
door
keep
dashing
it.
with me. Shit, we chasing after
Well,
the bag together.
well, it's sometimes the Walmart trip, you might need to lock them little badass kids in the car. But you're fucking it up for the rest of them. I told you before.
I mean, we didn't even
The
get to
kids
that
be
part.
tight back
What
there,
if
boy.
what if that person has a badass child? Like, ugh, man.
If the person has a badass child, oh,
Yeah.
believe me, you've been privy to that in my world.
Man.
So if they got a badass child, look, at the end of the day, if they have a bad child, because there's only so much disrespect you gonna listen to,
Man.
you know, and a bad child, depending on what the level of bad and whatnot, but that's a reflection on the on.
Disrespectful, cussing. They'll even whoop the mama ass.
See, but that's
I'm
a
not dating
reflection.
nobody like that. Fuck no.
Don't you feel like it's the reflection on the bio parent?
Sometimes it could be, but sometimes it can't be. Sometimes the kids just be bad as fuck.
Sometimes these kids done got a little bit bigger than mama, and mama's scared off in the goddamn room. I
That too.
know, I
That too.
know, I know, because I've had to exterminate a couple of little bastards. You know, so it is what it is. But yeah, bad kids, good kids, it don't matter. You got to figure out one. It's already hard enough trying to figure out these lanes of relationships and shit. And
True.
now when we add in reality of things, right? Because the reality is, especially as we get older, the likelihood of you finding somebody that ain't got no kids is very slim to none.
But you know what's crazy is people say that, but it really ain't. I've come across so many men who have no kids, absolutely no kids. And we're talking about 35 plus.
Men,
I've come
yeah,
across quite a
men,
few. Well,
yeah, men.
when it comes to women, it's a different story.
It's
We lose.
different.
Anyway, that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother day. This has been a dope ass show. I really, really enjoyed y'all's engagement. Once again, we're always open to topics. If you have an idea or maybe even a question you want us to discuss, y'all shoot that thing on to kittypinkradio@gmail.com. Also, y'all make sure y'all joining us every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday morning for Manuscript in the Morning. Microwave Dreams is when?
Coming to you soon. Right after this show, actually, we come on out every week. To do it on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Sometimes it's pre-recorded, sometimes it's live, because I'm trying to hit y'all with some new spicy shit every now and then. But my crew got me working on these weird ass clips and shit now, so you know it's all coming together, and you can catch me, as Kitty states, on Tricoastal Radio in the mornings. I'm only on Wednesdays.
Okay.
And of course, you can catch my illustrious host at Kitty Pink Radio doing her goddamn thing, keeping all of y'all well informed and keeping a smile on y'all's face.
Most definitely. And I wanted to do this show because I am a single parent, and I have dated, and I've been through the ins and outs and the struggles of trying to date with a special needs child. And you know I wanted to discuss this because there are some people who want to be a part of this conversation, so they can find some type of avenue, some type of way to fit dating into their busy I'm a parent, I'm a mother, I'm a dad schedule. But we also want to have this show so we could let people know, hey, if you're trying to date somebody with a child, we're gonna need you to think about that shit. We're gonna need you to make sure that you the right nigga. And y'all know when you the right nigga and when you not the right, when you the wrong and right nigga. You know when it's time to step away or when it's time to go full force. So it is what it is. We love y'all. I want you to love yourself. Y'all make sure y'all join us right back here next week. Same place, same time. We love you. We out, y'all.
A chair is still a chair, even if it's no one sitting there. I don't think they're going to play this on Kitty Pink Radio. Send yours in. They'll probably play yours. It's your boy Big Rip, the Culture Professor. We in the streets, never industry. Kitty Pink Radio.